Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure. What?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
There is Times Picayune, dated June 19, 1993. A front page article describes the most recent of the voodoo murders. Gabriel scans it but learns nothing new. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crimes is fake. Gabriel shudders. It looked real enough to him. Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square, called La Plaza de Mar. Under French rule, it was used for executions, firing squads, hanging, even impalement and breaking on the wheel. These days, it's mostly a hangout for tourists, street musicians, and local artists. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Chances of a dark star rising on this day. Trust your instinct.
I feel a dark star rising, all right. See you later.
See ya.
Hey, mostly.
Night, come on in. It's hot. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink. Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
Can I ask, you're the... How about giving me some coffee?
Coffee?
Should surprise you.
Nah, you've always been a caffeine addict. It's just that what we got here hardly qualifies.
So desperate.
It's your stomach. I'll get you some when we're done talking.
That long?
All right, I'll go now. Don't touch anything while I'm gone.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I saw something crawling on it.
Just drink this.
Thanks. Tons. I mean it.
It's not. The suit doesn't open.
May I help you? I'd like to see Malia Getty, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you. I do have official business. Really? Please tell me the nature of your business. Detective Mosley, I'm here on this business. Really? Interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Getty. Miss Getty will see you. Right this way. Miss Getty will be... Thank you.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Getty?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm afraid I quite abhor them.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out of the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out of the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that. Brownish gold. It's so deep, red. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job.
I can't help noticing that you're in incredible shape, Miss Getty. Your legs are so strong. Do you work out at one of the clubs by the lake?
Well, Detective, I do enjoy physical activity.
Oh, me too.
Actually, I was referring to swimming and modern dance. I can't say I do much exercising at the lake, though.
Oh, well, it was worth asking. A beautiful woman like you must know a lot of people in this city.
Well, I am on a number of boards, and I do a fair amount of charity work. But I have very little time for social activities. I'm really more of a recluse than you might imagine.
No, really? It's a tragedy to hide a light like yours under a bushel, Miss Getty.
Your opinion is noted, Detective.
I'm not making many points here today, am I?
No, you're not.
Miss Getty, Malia, there's something about you. You really touch me.
I almost believe you, Detective.
I wish you would. I've never been more sincere in my life.
Now that I can believe.
Could I see you again sometime? For coffee? Dinner?
Look, you seem like an interesting person, and I'm sure you have some fascinating stories to tell.
Storytelling is only one of my gifts.
But I'm afraid I'm quite unavailable at the moment. With my mother's recent death, I'm completely absorbed in family business.
Are you sure you won't go out with me? I promise I'll be good.
It's really out of the question.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced?
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh, well, I can see that your imagination
is considerable. I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Kitty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I didn't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out. Robert? Show Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will. Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
Let's go visit Dr. John.
Welcome, my friend.
Hello.
I am proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that. Can I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Ah, you have perhaps noticed the museum's snake, Mr. Knight. They are beautiful creatures, do you not agree? And the tourists seem to associate them with voodoo.
Do you know Malia Getty?
Should I?
She referred me to your museum.
Many have read about our museum in the newspapers, Mr. Knight.
That's a good point. What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killing in the newspaper? I know that they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
What do you think of New Orleans?
It is the only city in the United States as far as I am concerned.
Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No. The museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us say that I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
Just tell me anything.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Just tell me anything.
I am a vegetarian.
Really? I can't imagine living without meat.
That must be the hunter in you, Mr. Knight.
Just tell me anything.
I do not care for small talk, Mr. Knight.
Actually, I can't think of a thing.
Then, let us discuss something else.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo, or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. We'll start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and we'll go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade, but African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies, where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves, but the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively.
The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importing of slaves from that region.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves.
Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans.
Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou St. John and the shore of Lake Jadre. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and place Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaus, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire. When the Widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooans in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The Widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans. She was above using her information to appear psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
You sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight. However she achieved it.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or greenery. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I, personally, am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo. But it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
Is there anything else I should know about hoodoo?
Not if your interest is primarily in voodoo. Hoodoo is of interest to those who study rural folk traditions, but it will not aid you in understanding true voodoo.
Are you sure you don't know Malia Getty?
Quite sure, Mr. Knight.
Tell me more about current voodoo.
There are many voodoo in New Orleans. They often do business selling grigri, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooan. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner, Magentia Moonbeam.
Sure, I'd love to meet her.
She lives on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Great, thanks. Tell me more about current voodoo.
You have tapped my resources. My expertise is really historical. Perhaps Ms. Moonbeam can be of further help.
I'll be going.
Come back again.
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait, Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? You mean like my beloved gold? She's a python, you know. Quite deadly in the wrong hands. I was trained by one of the great voodoo queens to learn how to hypnotize and handle snakes.
Tell me more about snakes.
Oh, I wouldn't want to give away my trade secrets.
About Grimwald.
What about her?
How about showing me how you handle Grimwald?
Really? You would like to see me dance, perhaps?
That would be swell.
I won't make you wait, Monsieur Knight. No matter what you see, do not be frightened.
I'll give it my best.
Gabriel grabs the shaped snake skin while Magenta is otherwise occupied.
They are truly inspiring. flattering, isn't it?
That's certainly one word for it.
Gabriel feels that many men have picked up things in Magenta's parlor, but he rather not. Gabriel.
Well, I guess I'll...
Peace and harmony be yours.
Right.
Hey, come back here. Hey! Oh, unbelievable. Rotten luck.
Interrogating the little boy wouldn't...
You dance pretty...
Give me some money, then.
I don't have any.
Don't block the view, mister.
This. Those two objects would have no effect on each other. The gift certificate.
Also try to get it done.
Could I get a lucky dog?
Now I'm busy.
An unambitious person in the 90s? Ah, amazing.
Hello, are you selling luck?
The vendor ignores Gabriel entirely.
You do request?
Got any more?
No.
Something to eat?
No.
There you have it. No.
Hello, are you...
The
I have this gift.
I'm busy.
It's good for $20.
Really?
You could take this gift certificate.
A lucky dog for $20 gift certificate.
This is the last.
What a... Thanks, mister. You got any special requests? Let me know.
You mentioned something. Can you fit through the bars around the statue?
Can I? Just watch me.
Good. There's something in there I can't quite reach. Come on. Can you reach that piece of paper?
Sure thing. Here you... Yep. See ya.
Save here, call it tip. Day 2 plus, actually. Is that paper the person that lost it?
This is the last page.
This belongs to you, doesn't it?
My draw. How'd you get it?
Oh, it was the squeeze, but I hate to see you lose your work. I lost my only copy of a manuscript once.
Well, you saved my butt. Let me know if I can ever do the same for you, huh?
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
What do you...
Is there any way you can reconstruct the whole pattern from these partials?
The pattern is probably circular. Some repetition in the elements. What is this from, anyway?
You'd never believe me.
Okie dokie. Well, there's... I think there's an area missing. If you could get me any more of these...
I'll see what I can do. I have another one of those patterns.
Really? Let's see. Yeah, this is great. I think there's enough overlap now. I'll give it my best shot. I'll show you what I come up with tomorrow.
Great. I appreciate it.
Gabriel magnifies the shed skin from Magenta Moonbeam's snake. The snake scales are hued brown. They don't match the scale from Lake Pontchartrain. Gabriel magnifies the scale from the lake. The iridescent scale is brilliantly hued with greens and purples.
Let's see if this completes today. If it does, then we should end the stream soon.
Hello?
You, Monsieur Walker.
Well,
I'll tell you, Walker. I'm certain someone's buried asleep, not back.
oh, don't
Do you think?
Rosaries
Very well, Miss. Oh, there's another thing.
you put in people. That'll turn
If the
real.
wow, Miss.
Mind if I ask you a few questions?
Ask what you want. I'll answer what I want.
That customer of yours, the little old lady,
Customer?
the woman I saw in here, Madame Cazeneuve, you called her.
I don't about my customers to men who come in off the street.
It's important that I talk to Madame Cazeneuve. You see, I'm doing some research and
I can't tell you anything about her.
it's important that I talk.
I can't.
You ever...
Me? She's somebody from the old days.
Do you know...
What kind of snake? Pythons and boas.
Really?
Are you crazy? What would I want with a python?
What do you...
Cabri sang.
What did you say?
Nothing. Those killings have nothing to do with my shop, monsieur.
What do you mean when you said Cabri sans corps?
I didn't say that.
You did. I heard you say it.
You're wrong, monsieur. I said no such thing.
Oh,
Got a minute, Grace?
what's up?
Could you do some research for me? I need you to look up Madame
Madame Cazeneuve? Is she related to the murders the same way your friend, Malia Getty, was?
Grace. Cazeneuve is at least 70.
As if that makes a difference to you. Okay, I'll see what I can find. Anything else?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Do you know what Caprice encore means?
No. Sounds French, though. It's time to close shop.
So it is. Have a nice night.
You too. See you tomorrow.
Let's go through the three
I'm so glad you could join us today. I've got messages when you want them. I also checked out Kazanu. There are multiple listings in the white pages. I got the page, but you'll have to figure out the right one.
Great, thanks.
Now, are you going to tell me what happened yesterday with Maggie Getty, or is it just too embarrassing? Don't tell me you actually got to see her.
Are the stars out tonight?
Gabriel, you don't seriously think she's interested? She can have any man in the city. You know, men with bank accounts.
You underestimate the Knight family's tragic poet samurai appeal. When Daddy married Mom, she was the hottest cat in town.
I always suspected there was something fishy in your family tree. But seriously, I think you should be careful.
Grace.
I'm serious. I don't know why, but I have a bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about this.
It's called jealousy, my dear. And you're right. You should be jealous of Malia Getty, as should every woman on this planet.
Never mind. Just fix these books. Your life is in your own slippery little hands.
The point is to get it into somebody else's hands. And soon.